Morning. It's a funny old day today. Bit of sunshine, a lot of cold showers. The light is not very good, so I've got the daylight bulb in an angled poised lamp. I want to do something like an idealistic sort of landscape. I'm painting on the back of another demo, which they don't all come out gallery quality, believe you me. But I want to put in some hills. Could be North Wales. But we're going down here, but we don't want to go off the page, so we need to block it with something so we have a low horizon. We can block that with some trees. We'll put trees in here, but these mounted just to show over the top of the landscape. Do a rocky. I have these trees coming up from here, and just the river. Still trying to work out ways of doing water that makes it look tumbling. Probably I need that wider there at the bottom so that I can get the old dry brush working in that area. So just rocks in the water. Similar to the one I did yesterday, but I want more sort of. But I want some large trees here coming up from down here, maybe. And then the rocky outcrop coming here. Some sort of invented background there, but that's the backdrop. So we'll wet the paper all over. My palette is lemon yellow, raw sienna, alizarin crimson, light red, ultramarine, burnt umber, Payne's grey and burnt sienna. I'm staying away from the Payne's grey at the moment. I'm seeing if I can live without it. I would prefer to use black, I think. And I do believe that Payne's grey is a mixture of alizarin crimson, ultramarine and black. I'm not sure, but I think it is. Now, while that's nice and wet, I'll, for some reason, this brush goes in its clumps. It seems to be clumpy. I don't know what's on there. So I'll put in some raw sienna just to warm it up. Put it all over. And now some nice ultramarine. Ultramarine for nice blue skies. Mix it with a bit of alizarin, just a bit. These are the clouds. No, this is the blue sky. These are the clouds, the light bits of the clouds. Now we'll put in some light red and ultramarine, and we can just going across these hills here. Okay, so that's the sky. Let's just re-clip the paper. You don't need to stretch paper. This Fabriano is quite happy to be stretched, but you need to wet it first, of course. I've not tried to paint straight onto dry paper. I think it's a bit slick. I don't think it's very forgiving for that type of painting. But I don't really want to waste my paints just finding out. Right, so that's just in the top of the mountain there. In some top of the top of. Say that again. The top of this mountain is going to be lost in that cloud. A bit darker there. Okay, let's put some nice bright yellowy warmer colours behind that. Just a background of a nice warm trees to contrast with the blue of the mountains. Okay, that's all right, isn't it? And while that's all nice and wet, we'll put in some darker bluer greens. Just blue and yellow. And across here. Flick in some trees here, there. Reclip again. I think I've had my dull period, my drab period. I need some more colour now at the moment. So let's put in some warmer foreground now. Burnt sienna, blues, reds, all mixed on the same brush without blending, just or various parts of the brush. So I'm going to etch out some rocks in on this. Red and blue for the rocky bits. Right, while that's doing, so let's put in some slabby nice rocks there. So we've got some nice greens of grass, greeny grassy bits and pieces in there. We'll do the same in here. Nice and warm. You know, get the darker bits in. I put the dark bits in so I can etch against them to show the contrast between the light paper underneath. White card. Bit too even there. Right, okay. Right, that's more or less our foreground in. Let's put some meat on those trees there. Now this is drying a little bit, we can get in some dry brush. Right, a bit of dark in there, shadow. Okay, so we'll go in with some heavier stuff here. I'm painting very dry, but this is a bluer green to show a little bit of distance. Nice rich dark in there now. Then I can just etch in some and I'll develop that with a bit of rigger work. Shadow in it. Just a little bit of shadow. Okay. Now I need some rocks in that water, don't I? So, but I want to put a bank going around the back there. So, need a dry brush. I'm using my favourite colours: burnt sienna, ultramarine, and the light red. All just mixed together. Put on the blue side, but I want to be able to put in some rocks on here. So I've got to put some paint on. Right. Might be a bit wet at the moment. Might just show if I put it a little bit darker. Right, let's put in a bit of rock. Oops. Oh, this was just right. I'm going to have to invest in another one, I think, before this one's sort of worn out. It's not a good one. Look, it goes clumps. It's not a case of trying to keep the hairs together, but you can see where it's going in clumps there. Getting some lighter colour on that one. And there. Keep it wet. And right, okay. So while that's drying off, I'm going to put in a bit of detail in here, so some dark green. Just the three colours, the primaries, but there's still too much water on that brush. Well, that's a nice dark green there. No Payne's grey, so we can just put it in. Of course, you can use the paint straight from the tubes, which I was using a week or so ago, which is a great way. It's the wrong answer, an old way. So you've always got the nice, rich paint when you need it. Just a bit of detail over those rocks. And we can do the same here. It's a bit of grass. Okay. I've got more red on that side, so on the right, so I need to just put in a bit on here. A bit too much red there. Okay, I'll just dry that off. And then I'll put the water in, hold your ears. And now I want to reflect some of that colour, that nice greeny blue, in the quietest bits of this. And there's a bit of that blue in there now. a bit of dark on there, so just to separate that bank. So a bit of sienna and a bit of blue. And a bit of dark in there. I've overdone that. Let's just take that out there. Dry. Just want to put some darks in the water here, shadow. Right, okay, nearly done there. A bit of a rigger. Just get in some dark. Just a tiny bit of detail, not a lot, just put some harder stuff in here. No portraits, just the viewer's eye interprets these things. You don't really want to say, this is a branch or a trunk of a tree. You just want to put them in and leave the viewer, the imagination of the viewer to connect the dots, so to speak. Just a bit of detail in the back here, but not a lot. Okay, I'll let that go. I think that's not too bad. I'll do a sign. Put it in a mount and have a look. I suppose they could put it in a void. Don't want a figure, I don't think. That's a bit low, let's just lift it up a little bit, just up to there. I bet that's about the same place. I don't know. No, just a bit down a bit, sorry. Well, there was one thing I wanted to do, was just to put a bit of light back in there. So to do that, a bit of tissue, the brush, and just lift that out, just to right. Well, okay, that's not too bad, is it? So we've got a mountain stream. We call it mountain stream. It is a bit of it. It might be a little bit muddy. I might have overdone the darks, really, contrast, but hey, it reflects how I feel at the moment. Thanks for watching. I'll zoom you in. You can have a little look. So we've got a bit more movement in that water there, and the background, the still parts of the river, are reflecting a bit of the background, but here it's fast moving and the surface is breaking up, reflecting a bit of the rocks and the sky, all jumbled in. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I'll just zoom out and you can have a look at the whole lot. Alright, there we are. Mountain stream. Now what I've done is to make this side bigger than that side. That blocks that, and that is a counterbalance to that. The rest is a little bit muddy, but I think it's just about okay. Thanks for watching. Speak to you later. Bye bye.